Hello, I'm the Game Professor, and welcome to Games as Lit 101. A long time ago, I did a video bemoaning and examining the relative lack of Christmas-themed video games compared to other forms of media. But in the years since that video, not much has really changed, which is why I haven't done any Christmas videos since then. But that changes today, when I'm looking at this. Yes, there's a Christmas episode of that infamously terrible Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon from the 90s, and yes, it's just as bad as every other episode. And I found this DVD of it in a local bookstore. It was $4. I spent $4 whole of my own money on this. I did it for you. I suffered for you. And way I see it, there's nothing more Christmassy than suffering for the sake of other people. So let's take a look at this weird attempt to put the Sonic back in Christmas. This Christmas special starts out with the main theme of this cartoon, which is apparently a vaguely Sonicized version of In the Hall of the Mountain King. Why? Anyway, the real story starts with an obviously robotic Santa Claus, who I guess just openly exists in the Sonic universe, announcing his retirement and replacement with Robotnik Claus, who can afford a ton of robots but apparently not a fitting Santa suit, to an audience with precisely one upset child.
No, Santa, please! It's too sad!
Elsewhere, we see Sonic acknowledging to his girlfriend that they won't exchange gifts this Christmas, then immediately running over to Tails and talking about how he's totally gonna get her a giant gift.
But you just said...
I know what we said. Same as last year. And then Sal went and gave me this great ring.
But since Robotnik is using his authority as Santa Claus to reverse the gift-giving process and take everything in town, the stores are empty, and that kid, who's apparently the only kid in the village, explains the situation.
Everything's terrible!
Then Robotnik's annoying robot animal henchmen try to kill the fastest thing alive by dropping something on him from a great distance.
Listen, your Christmas stocking!
My socks are rocking!
This show is stupid. Meanwhile, Robotnik is building countless chimneys on his lair so everyone can come down them and give him presents. But this never factors into the story, so... nothing in this cartoon happens for any actual reasons. Also, I saw the robot henchman's butt, and you have too also now. But Sonic and Tails find out where Santa is, so they go get him and take him back to the workshop, but Robotnik stole all the toys the elves were making. Santa laments that they don't have enough time to fix this situation, but this is a show about Sonic. He's all about speed, so naturally, he can't actually do anything without learning to go faster. Because, Sonic, I guess. Thankfully, Sonic's ring just happens to be an ancient artifact that can unlock the secrets of super speed. Oh, did I forget to mention that? Yes, this entire plot hinges on a ring that Sonic has had for a year, despite having no idea what it does or where it came from, which was given to him by his girlfriend last Christmas, who also had no idea what it was or where it came from, which turns out to have the ability to grant Sonic supersonic speed, which, of course, is a thing that he's already known for having and is literally named after. It's even introduced by a random bird just noticing it while Sonic is hanging from a tree for no reason. The bird then falls out and is caught by Sonic, never to be seen again in this episode because, again, nothing in this cartoon happens for any actual reasons. Anyway, the ring's powers have to be activated by completing some impossible challenges, like climbing a mountain and... snowboarding? The ancient civilization that created this mysterious ring knew what snowboarding was? And hang gliding? And biking? Why is he doing all of these things? He's faster on foot than a bike. He's Sonic. And the challenges don't even do anything in the end. He just has super speed now, I guess. Also, he went through a lake, ended up with a fish in his mouth, ran into a bear, and now the bear has the fish. Again, nothing in this cartoon happens for any reason. So Sonic speeds through the town, gets all the presents back to their owners, and buries his girlfriend in boxes before kissing her on the forehead and just covering her back up and leaving her there. She doesn't even have any dialogue in this episode, but that's alright, because Sonic is Santa now. Which seems like a significant development in the Sonic the Hedgehog canon, but whatever.
And he wishes all of you a Merry Christmas!
The kid's right. an extremely Merry Christmas every year of your life.
So that's the Christmas episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and what do I even say about this?
Everything's terrible.
Games is Lit 101 isn't a comedy review show, it's an analysis show. So when I'm talking about adaptations, I always try to talk about how the work drew from its source material in some way. And when I talk about bad things, I still try and think a bit about what it's trying to say. So I guess I'll try to do both of those. As an adaptation, there's not a lot here I can say about this particular episode that doesn't apply to the cartoon as a whole. The animation is bad. The writing is bad.
I boo your cheers!
It adds random characters that serve no purpose except to add terrible comic relief to a franchise that already has way too many characters that could have done this. It's just a mess. I mean, the Sonic franchise isn't exactly a narrative powerhouse in the first place. I mean, there was that BioWare RPG on the DS, but I'm still not convinced that actually exists in our dimension. But what strengths could be pulled out of it are not well served by adapting it into a serialized comedy format with no effort behind it. And even if they were, this episode would not be a good example of it. If you replace all the characters, you wouldn't even be able to tell it was a Sonic cartoon. That's how little it actually utilizes the thing it's based on. It doesn't even really relate to the source material on a thematic level. That might be a little too much to expect from this anyway, but the games are generally all about Sonic saving his friends, right? That has the potential to play with themes of loyalty, sacrifice, selflessness, the kinds of things that you put in children's cartoons, morals for the story, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. To make a cartoon and simplify it all to Robotnik tries shenanigans and Sonic saves the day is to completely miss whatever point you might have been able to get out of the source material. That's a proud tradition of American video game adaptations, don't get me wrong, but it's still bad. But separate from its identity as a Sonic cartoon, we can talk about what the story is or is not trying to say, and it's nothing. Nothing whatsoever. But the worst thing is that it does set up the potential for a couple morals of the story. Mainly with Sonic's whole, we said no presents, but I'm gonna do it anyway to one-up my girlfriend thing. Maybe a Christmas is about relationships, not stuff lesson, or if we wanted to be a little less cliche, a lesson to respect people's wishes instead of trying to show off. That last one is even something I could see Sonic needing to learn as a character, but not only does the episode not follow through on that lesson whatsoever, it would be kind of undercut by the fact that Princess Sally, who apparently doesn't appear in this particular cartoon series in any episode except this one, and is voiced by Tabitha St. Germain of all people despite having no spoken lines, apparently also violated their agreement the year before and got Sonic a present and was mad that he didn't get her one, so everyone's just kind of bad at being friends, I guess. I normally try to be a little more insightful than this, but man, this is just really, really stupid. There's not much here, so I guess that's it for this Christmas special of Games is Lit 101. I suppose this is as good a time as any for me to tell you that I'm going to be analyzing another terrible game sometime in the nearish future. Now, before, I put up a poll and you all chose Metroid Other M, which I am still kind of mad at you for. This time, I am also putting up a poll to allow you to choose between a few options. So there's a link to that in the description. It'll be up for probably a week or two or so after this video is uploaded. So, yeah, get to voting and let's figure out how I'm going to suffer for all of you next. Merry Christmas.